How many times have those of us in the Midwest heard that stern admonition from Horace Greeley, "Go west, young man"? Well, National Lampoon's Vacation takes that little dictum and has a field day with it, and I want to introduce you to the producer of National Lampoon Vacation, Mr. Matty Simmons. Hi. Welcome. I mentioned the Midwest, and I'd like to key in on that because Chevy Chase is from Chicago. He's going west, and what a vacation this turns out to be. Is there something that you wanted to do there about turning that dream of the westward trek into a nightmare? Has that been a concept all along in your mind?
Well, the basic concept of the movie is that this is something that happens to all of us, only, of course, it's compounded tenfold because it's a movie and because it's a Lampoon movie. So what we do is we take reality and we just take it that extra yardage. And the one thing that has delighted me in the screenings of this picture is that people walk out of it saying, "This happened to me. I did this. This was my fault," or "This happened with my kids," or I took this drive.
Well, that was my next question to you. Have you had a cross-country drive of your own that you were able to relate to?
I never drove as a child or as a parent. I never drove cross-country, but I drove from New York to Florida and, you know, other long drives with the kids. And my family particularly enjoys this movie, the elements where Chevy starts singing in the car, and the family sings along.
And he never stops.
Or does. That was me.
Yes.
I did that all the time, and my family is delighted with this, just roars at this because they relate to it.
National Lampoon also seems to be having a good bit of fun with those things that we choose to see on our vacations. It may not be the natural wonders like the Grand Canyon so much as that giant ball of yarn or that giant hut made out of mud.
Right.
Was that another kind of attack you wanted to make?
Yes, I think we wanted to point out the humor in what people will do to enjoy themselves. Go 4 hours out of your way to see the House of Mud.
Yes.
I mean, when you think about it, would you really walk around the block to see the House of Mud? Well, he goes 4 hours out of his way to see the world's largest ball of twine. And there is a world's largest ball of twine in the Midwest.
And as a matter of fact, I think Kansas has several such scenic wonders.
Yes, I think Kansas has either number
one
one or
aluminum
number two.
foil,
right.
too.
Yes.
Now, this westward trek does turn into an obsession with Chevy Chase.
Yes.
He's going to have fun if it kills him and his family.
Absolutely.
Do you think that we have been sold as Americans a bill of goods about vacations? Has it become a hype as much as everything else?
Well, I think it's as much that we have sold ourselves on it. I think that we do take the attitude, we're going to have fun come hell or high water. You know, no matter what happens, we're going to have fun. And of course what happens in the movie is they run into so many disastrous things that the family wants to turn back and Chevy will not. And I think the words you never forget here is when he turns to them and says, "This is no longer a trip, it's a quest."
That's right, with a capital Q.
Right.
Matty Simmons is producer of National Lampoon Vacation. Share with us, if you would, some of the triumphs of the movie and some of the disappointments in the filming, some of the things you wanted to do but couldn't eventually, and vice versa.
Well, the one thing that we wanted to do was involve the ending. And what happened is we eventually wound up doing it because we reshot this ending. We had a different ending in this picture. And after viewing it, and Harold Ramis, the director, and I looked at it a long time and studied it, we decided that the ending wasn't frantic enough, it wasn't tough enough for a Lampoon type of movie. It was too sweet for we went back 6 months after we wrapped this picture and reshot the ending of the picture.
Well, of course, we can't talk about that specifically.
Yeah. I won't tell you what it is, but we are delighted with the ending because it has all the ingredients that we looked for that we felt it didn't have at first.
As a writer, a publisher, you've had extensive involvements with the Harvard Lampoon and the National Lampoon on down the line. Now, however, you seem to be turning exclusively to film production. Is that true? No,
I'm still very much a part of the magazine. I'm the chairman of the board and chief executive officer of the Lampoon, and I'm very much involved with the creativity of the magazine. We have 2 magazines, National Lampoon and a magazine called Heavy Metal, which is a science fiction magazine. And I see all the covers, I see the basic ingredients that go into the magazine. I still am deeply involved with the publishing.
In fact, the cover of the press materials on National Lampoon Vacation reminded me very much of a Frank Frazetta style of artwork that
Yeah.
you, of course, will be familiar with.
Yes, as a matter of fact, that cover is really a Lampoon cover.
Indeed.
It's typical of what we would do at the magazine. The director got that idea, and he and I kicked it around, and we wrote a script for the artist. We said he'll do this, and he'll have a fishing rod in his hand, and there'll be a snake coming out, and the dog, and you know. And we gave the artist an actual script.
It's as if all of the monsters and perils of fantasy fiction have now been translated into real life with a vacation trip.
Yes.
It's a very nice idea there.
I think it's a wonderful movie, and I've seen it 300 times, and I still laugh.
You're often
So-
described as being at the top of the Lampoon edifice. We've only got about 45 seconds left or so. Could you describe to me a kind of philosophy you might have about the Lampoon style of humor, whatever that is?
Yeah, well, I think the basic ingredient in Lampoon is spare nothing, spare nobody, and play no favorites. Pick on anybody and everybody as long as it's funny. And say anything you want if it's redeemable by being funny. We pull no punches, and there are no laws that my editors and writers live by,
Well,
except
actually-
that if you're going to be nasty, make sure it's funny.
And Vacation, in some ways, is a rather dark film. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
In areas, sure. There are certainly dark jokes and dark moments, yes.
I mean, that
I
underside
think
of the American
overall
dream.
it's a very warm film, actually.
Oh, some of the scenes with
I
Chevy
think
and his
the-
child.
The
yeah.
family, yeah, the scenes between Chevy and his son, right, are wonderful. But the family, the relationship between families. Somebody said to me the other day, it's great to see a family movie where the husband and wife have a healthy sex life.
Indeed, indeed.
Good
Matty
to see
Simmons,
you. Thank
producer of National Lampoon Vacation, and of course our Kansas City audiences want to know what to do for their summer vacation. Take a look at this film before you make that decision is my recommendation.